It took more than 200 years of the world's largest companies to come up with a patent for the sewing machine. There were 17 before it. The problem is in ancient times, all people sewed, man, woman, and child. Everyone had a needle and thread, clothing, bedding, you name it. Everybody fixed their own stuff. Well, as the Industrial Revolution came around, obviously they wanted a sewing machine. The holdup was before that, everybody had passed the needle all the way through, a needle and thread like you're sewing a button on, and they couldn't get a machine to pass the needle all the way through. 17 patents, 200 years in. The guy claims it came to him in a dream. He dreamed to put the hole at the bottom of the needle, which is how a sewing machine functions now. It plunges, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. It doesn't go all the way through. It took 200 years, 17 patents. They finally got the sewing machine to work. Within about 10 years of the sewing machine, and Mr. Singer did not invent the first sewing machine, but he did make the first really usable one for the masses. Within about 10 years of the sewing machine coming around, Mr. Singer started saying, well, there's no reason in the world women can't use the sewing machine. And everybody said, well, that's crazy. Women don't have jobs. They can't buy sewing machines. And Mr. Singer said, well, I know a thing or two about marriages. And if the wife wants a sewing machine, the husband will buy it. So he put a woman with a sewing machine sewing clothes all the live long day in the window on the street at the Macy's in Manhattan. It was no time at all. Sewing machines sold like wildfire. I mean, they just sold and sold and sold and sold. Well, it was only another few years, by about 1910, when Mr. Singer said, well, there's no reason, because, they had all these factories set up with all these sewing machines and all these guys in there sewing. And they're sewing and sewing and sewing because they got the machines now. Well, he starts saying, well, there's no reason in the world a woman couldn't be in the factory using the sewing machines. And everybody said, that's crazy. Women don't have jobs. Women don't work. We can't put them on a sewing machine. He said, yeah, but if we fired all the men and hired women, we could pay them 50%. And everybody said he was crazy. So you know what he did? He opened a factory full of women. And it was the most profitable factory in existence because he was able to pay the women half who heretofore didn't have jobs. Well, that was about 1910. In 1917, World War I came around. They let the women be nurses. That was the first time in history that women practiced medicine as nurses in World War I. After the war was over, they start saying, like, well, what are some other jobs women can do? And like, if you remember from all your history books, they're in the switchboard with the wires and they're just, poking and poking and poking. Well, because we don't need a man to do that. A woman can do that. And then like as a school teacher and a telephone operator and a mail lady, you name it, all these things started becoming women professions from 1910 up until the late 1960s. Well, at a certain point, the women got together and said, what? This is absolute bullshit. Why are we paying half? This is nonsense. We make all this less money than men, And now you have the woman's revolution, which 100% is a direct result of the sewing machine and one Mr. Singer.